Hi there. It's January 25th and time for Proverbs 25. Let's jump over there and we'll get into it. Now 25 starts the other Proverbs of Solomon that Solomon himself didn't actually write in the book, but these are Proverbs of Solomon which were copied by the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah. It's interesting. And that's what it says in the first verse. These are also Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied. Okay. It is the glory of God to conceal things, but the glory of kings to search things out. As the heavens for height and the earth for depth, so the heart of kings is unsearchable. We don't have a king, somebody who's in absolute power. Take away the dross from the silver, and the smith has material for a vessel. Take away the wicked from the presence of the king, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Now, when somebody's in charge, like somebody's in charge now, it's usually all the counselors around that end up being evil. You take all the evil away, and there's nothing left, right? 6. Do not put yourself forward in the king's presence, or stand in the place of the great. For it is better to be told, "Come up here," than to be put in a lower in the presence of a noble. Okay, now this is how you sum this up. Be humble. Don't ever go to the front figuring you have a place and then have to say, "Hey, your seat's back there." That would embarrass you. Everybody would laugh at you. But if you sit in the back and he says, "Hey, come up here, I have a seat for you up here," then that makes you look good, right? Pretty simple. Be humble. 8. What your eyes have seen, do not hastily bring into court. For what will you do in the end when your neighbor puts you to shame? What does that say over here in the NIV? Do not bring hastily to court. Oh. What you have seen with your eyes, do not bring hastily to court. For what will you do in the end if your neighbor puts you to shame? Right. If you witness something, wait until somebody asks you. Don't just go blurting it out. You could be totally wrong. Argue your case with your neighbor himself, and do not reveal another's secret, lest he who hears you bring shame upon you, and your ill repute have no end. Your ill repute have no end. He who hears it may shame you, and you will never lose your bad reputation. That's what it says in NIV. I like that better. Yeah. Keep your mouth shut. Okay. Overriding thing of Proverbs. Keep your mouth shut. 11. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in settings of silver. Like a gold ring or an ornament of gold is a wise reprover to a listening ear. You could get that, to a listening ear. If somebody asks you, "What do you think of this?" Tell them. Like the cold of snow in the time of harvest is a faithful messenger to those who send him. He refreshes the soul of his masters. Like clouds and wind without rain is a man who boasts of a gift and he does not give. All right. Boasts of a gift he does not give. What does that say over here? Like clouds and wind without rain is a man who boasts of gifts he does not give. Boasts of gifts he does not give. Yeah. With patience a ruler may be persuaded, and a soft tongue will break a bone. Got that? Speak softly. If you have found honey, eat only enough for you, lest you have your fill of it and vomit it. Amen. Let your foot be seldom in your neighbor's house, lest he have his fill of you and hate you. You got that? Don't wear out your welcome. It's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Seldom set foot in your neighbor's house. Too much of you, and he will hate you. Right? Stay home. A man who bears false witness against his neighbor is like a war club or a sword or a sharp arrow. Yes. Don't lie. Just don't lie. No problems, right? Trusting in a treacherous man in time of trouble is like a bad tooth or a foot that slips. A foot that slips. I don't think it says it over here. Like a bad tooth or a lame foot is reliance on the unfaithful in times of trouble. That. Trusting in a treacherous man in times of trouble? Yeah, we just heard that. It's like a bad tooth or a foot that slips. Whoever sings songs to a heavy heart is like one who takes off a garment on a cold day and like vinegar on soda. That's interesting. Don't sing songs to a heavy heart? Is that what that's saying? If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For you will heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you. So Jesus said, love your enemies. It confuses them. The north wind brings forth rain, and a backbiting tongue, angry looks. It is better to live in the corner of a housetop than in a house shared with a quarrelsome wife. Yeah, you can recognize most of these from other parts of Proverbs that Solomon did write down. Like cold water to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. Yeah. We could use some good news from a far country, huh? Like a muddied spring or a polluted fountain is a righteous man who gives way before the wicked. They try, don't they? It's not good to eat too much honey, nor is it glorious to seek one's own glory. Too much of a good thing. I like that. Nor is it glorious to seek one's own glory. Meaning of the Hebrew line is uncertain. What's it say over here? It's not good to eat too much honey, nor is it honorable to seek one's own honor. Yeah. Don't brag, okay? Nobody likes a bragger. And 28, a man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. Self-control is very important. We'll just highlight that. So, what did we highlight in the other Proverbs of Solomon? Be humble. 6 and 7, do not put yourself forward in the king's presence or stand in the place of the great. For it is better to be told, come up here, than to be put in lower in the presence of a noble. And that probably says it different over here. Yeah. It is better for him to say to you, come up here, than for him to humiliate you before a nobleman. Yeah. You're sitting in somebody else's seat. We highlighted 12. Actually, this all goes together. Okay. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in a setting of silver. Like a gold ring or an ornament of gold is a wise reprover to a listening ear. And it's a listening ear is the important part there. If somebody doesn't want to listen to you, don't bother. Okay, you're just going to make them mad. We highlighted 17. Let your foot seldom be in your neighbor's house, lest he have his fill of you and hate you. Don't wear out your welcome. Stay home and wait till you're invited. All right. 21 and 22. If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For you will heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you. Right? Love your enemies. 27. It's not good to eat too much honey, nor is it glorious to seek one's own glory. Okay? Nobody likes that. And 28. A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. Okay? You ever know somebody who doesn't have self-control? There are lots of them out there. So that is Proverbs 25. And we will, of course, keep doing this. We're just about done with another month, which is cool. I think next month we'll do the Living Bible. There's something interesting, and compare it side by side with, with one of the other versions, just for fun. Stay tuned later today for more of 365 days through the entire Bible in chronological order, the one we're doing. And I believe we're still in Genesis. We'll probably be in Genesis for another while yet. But until then, have a good Thursday. We're almost there. Remember, stay humble. See you next time.